Alright, now I'm going to be redoing this video. I didn't really like the other welding truck video, so we're redoing it, but basically on the front end truck here, both of my Dodges have these same exact bumper, just in case I get stuck or I have to pull somebody out of the ditch, or in case I hit a deer or something. Moose jumps out playing hockey or something, it is Canada. But this is a 1-ton, it's a 1-ton dually. This one's a 2009. It's a 1-ton. It's a 6.7 Cummins. Now if you look over here, this one is a 1-ton. This one's a 5.9. Both of them are both have Cummins diesel engines. This one is a 5.9. My welding truck is a 6.7. They have the same exact bumper. This one's not painted, but it's basically the same exact truck. Except this one is 2003. This one is 2009. Both of them are 6-speed manual transmission. Both of them are 4x4. Both of them are commercial vehicle. This is basically my stand-in backup welding truck. Both of them are commercial license plates, $5 million liability, $5 million vehicle. So they're both very, very heavily insured commercial vehicles, commercial plates. So this one is a 6.7 Cummins, and they both have the same sticker too. And tape does a good job at taping up like numbers and everything, but they both have the same exact stickers. This one is aluminum deck. The cost of these decks is, well, this one's about $21,000 for this deck. Open it here. And I took out all the TIG welding stuff. So this one has all the stick welding, for stick welding jobs. And I want to talk about stick welding jobs, I'm talking about pipe welding, because that's all I do is I just weld pipe. But I see it as stick welding pipe or TIG welding pipe. So I kind of have everything just kind of labeled. It's not for myself, well, it is kind of for myself, but it's mainly for helpers. If I can say I grab, some levels and, flange pins, grab flange pins. Well, my helper, I can tell him, okay, it's in this drawer that says labeled this, so he goes and grabs this. Now, when I go to the other side of the truck here, and basically, because I'm doing stick welding jobs, it's empty, but I might have a couple jacks in there or whatever, but some oil cans for the welding machines, but I'm basically going to use an excerpt from the original video where it shows the TIG welding stuff, like the argon hoses. And I don't have 400 feet, I actually have 500 feet of argon hose. So it has 500 feet of argon hose. So this is a different welding machine that's on the truck compared to the welding machine they had previously on the truck. This one is a 1958 Lincoln SA200. It's a transition model. It's a transition model between the short hood and the long hood. So it's basically a long hood. Basically just 1958. I think they were only made from 1958, 1959. It could have been halfway 57, but I think they still had the short hoods in 1957. But anyways, the way I have it on here is I actually have 7. I have 7 aluminum reels. These are aluminum reels. So if I can just kind of zoom in here. But this one's, yeah, these are aluminum reels. Just go to aluminumreel.com. They're about $800, $1,000, something like that. I can't remember. It's been forever since I bought them. But basically, the principles of welding truck is everything is like immediate access. Okay, you want, when you're welding a rig welder, you want everything immediately at your disposal. So this is oxyacetylene hose. This is over 100 feet. This is propane hose. You know, like, look around. It's Canada. Okay, it's Alberta. It's Canada. You see, you wake up at 6 in the morning or 5 in the morning. You're on the job site at 6 in the morning. The pipe, there's permafrost, a thick layer of permafrost on the pipe and everything. So basically you need propane hose. I can go far distance. I got the propane, bottle's not hooked up. I have 2 of these 30-pound bottles. This is actually a remote for an SA200. You know, this is actually the cable. But basically it's just green wire, black wire, white wire. Basically it's just, I'm just using it for auxiliary power. But you know, I can have a connection here. You know, I'm plugging a remote to this. I can just change this up here, and I can change up the remote on there. You know, and this is well, this is 1958 SA200, but toggle switch to just the from remote the panels right there. Here's the remote here, the male plug-in to the female plug-in. This one's auxiliary power, and yeah, so this one's auxiliary power. This one is actually the remote for the Vantage 400, but or Lincoln Ranger, you know, but I'm not using it. Now this one, I just kind of, I threw this machine on for the particular jobs I'm doing. So this is you know, the remote cable for the these SA200s, SA300s, SA400s, that sort of thing. And this is just positive, negative. So basically everything is just immediate. You know, I need something immediate, just grab it off, immediate. Everything is immediate to my hands here. You know, I don't have anything in Tupperware containers, or, you know, everything is just like the ground here. Oh, I'm pipelining. You know, I need ground, I need some stingers, everything is just like right here. You know, tools are like right there. Everything is right there. You know, because you get fired for being too slow. Now this thing here, I just I threw it on. It's just, see, I did it so I could just take it out. And the other problem with this truck is there's just, you know, I've never liked this ensemble. Like, I've always thought it doesn't look very professional. It kind of looks you know, it doesn't look very good. And every time I pass other welding trucks, you know, other rig welders, or I'm on site and I'm looking at their trucks, I like how they do their trucks. But I look at my truck, no, I don't know, I don't like it. Don't care for it. You know, so it's just like, see, I have this right there, okay? That's usually when you see trucks, it's like over right here. Here's a machine here, it sits down right here, and then this is right here. You know, it's right there. But you know, it's just like, okay, well, I'll throw this here, and I don't like that. I'm gonna throw something else on here. Okay, well, I don't, you know, so you just keep throwing stuff on it until it looks kind of like a welding truck. I don't know. So anyways, this is just an attempt, just throwing more stuff on here. You know, just like, well, I don't know. I'll see what it looks like. So basically I have, yes, the arm just swings out. Okay, so I got the remote. This is actually for the helper. Okay, this is not for me, this is for my welder helper. You know, this swings out over the pipe. So basically, here's the pipe right here, okay? Here's the pipe. It's just gonna swing out, and it's gonna be like, here's the remote right here. Okay, so my helper, he's gonna look here, and I'm right here. I'm welding right here, here's the pipe. So the helper is just standing to my side, basically. So he's gonna be passing me welding rods and grinders and everything with his right hand. So I'm gonna pass my welding rods, just throw in the bucket. The grinder's gonna go here and here, and here's the remote. You know, well, it's a little bit tall for him, I guess. I don't know, I guess gonna have to find a tall welder helper, or have him stand on a stand or something. You know, throw that in the truck, but yes, this is for the welder helper, basically. And gotta be very, when you have these machines, you gotta be very careful with these things, because you need, these have rheostat inside them, but you know, you don't want to drop these, you'll break the rheostat. You want spares, you want extras of these. I actually have 3 of these, so you want to make sure you bring, when you're welding, you want to make sure you have extra remotes, you know, just in case something happens to this remote, or something happens, you need your new remote, or another remote, backup remote. Now these pipe stands, these are GRB College of Welding pipe stands. These are really nice pipe stands, and they really match the truck really well. See? Nice blue color. They really match the truck. Really sharp. So these are GRB College of Welding pipe stands, and I have 6 of them. And what else here? This has got to go. So the propane holder, it holds a bottle in here. See, it's not hooked up or nothing. Let's see what else here. I got stands, and you see, this is actually a stand. This is for uneven ground and everything, because I actually have. Oh, it's actually on the truck. Okay. Oh, there it is. All right, so. This is my grinder stand. It just slides into that stand that has the really weird legs on it, basically. So it's just for uneven ground or the shop or whatever. So this is actually just oxygen, acetylene oxygen. And you see, when you're rig welding, you want to have, you know, at least 2 bottles of oxygen. And this is a good size bottle for acetylene. It's a good size bottle. But you're going to go through the oxygen far quicker than you will go through the acetylene. Inside here I have I have a slip tank. The slip tank has gasoline in it, and it's basically, it's not for my diesel welding machines that go on here. No. You know, it might be for this machine that goes on here. This is a gasoline machine, F162 Continental engine, but you know, it has gasoline from my other engine drive welding machines, which I'll show you in a second here. Now basically in this drawer, I'm going to show you it, but I'm going to use the excerpt from the original video, just because I have the TIG stuff in there. You see, this is, I have a Dynasty 200 and I have a Dynasty 300. Sorry, 350. So I have 2 Dynasty welding machines with me. Quite often I don't even carry the Dynasty 350, you know, because I don't need it. But, you know, I carry the Dynasty 200 with me. This is 50 feet, another 50 feet, another 50 feet. So I can have my truck parked right here, then I have 150 feet of remote cable, or sorry, extension. This is all extension cords, single phase extension cords for a Dynasty 200. So I can be up in a tower, I can be in a building, I can be wherever. You know, I don't want to, you know, half the time I don't even want to drag welding cables. I got a big welding cables, I got a big remote cables, I got everything. I don't even want to bring that stuff with me. So I just string out extension cord. String out the extension cord, and I just carry my little Dynasty 200, and I just carry it, and I just put it right there, and I have short little welding leads for that, and a short little TIG torch, and I have everything, short little everything for it, and it's easy. Don't have to wrap up big large cables, you know, it's just terrible. Anyways, this is about 150 feet of extension cord. This is 150. This is 200 feet of remote cable. This remote cable, in conjunction with 200 feet of welding cable, if I decide to use the welding cable, that's where this comes in handy. So I could basically be in the parking lot. I could park my truck in the parking lot. I could string 150 feet out, plus another 200 feet, plus another 100 feet off the remote here. This is one of those remotes here. You know, I could be a billion miles away from the truck and still weld. This is 400 feet of argon hose. You're going to need lots and lots of argon hose. Maybe you're doing a 20-inch stainless or 20-inch Hastelloy or whatever you're welding. You're going to need lots and lots of welding hose. You know, this is all argon. Basically, you'll need, like, say, 2-3 hoses, depending on the size of pipe and depending on how much volume you need to purge. and you know, maybe you need 2 for the pipe, 3 for the pipe, and then 1 for the TIG torch. Now you need like 4 lines. Well, you're 100 feet up. Now you need a minimum of 400 feet, 1 for the TIG torch, and maybe 3 for the pipe. You know, so you need lots and lots of argon hose. So this is a minimum of 400 feet. This is what I have in the truck. I have more at home here. I have tons and tons of argon hose. I even have argon hose inside here. I haven't used yet. I have tons and tons, and I have extra TIG torches. These are all brand new extra TIG torches. You know, in case maybe a rig welder, he needs maybe his TIG torch, his welder helper stepped on it with his ice cleats and poked holes in it. Whatever he did, he needs an extra TIG torch, and I got extra TIG torches. So you know, I try to keep everything organized. You know, it's just one thing after another thrown on here. Now I'll show you different machines I use for different purposes. Alright, now this machine here, this is 1946 Lincoln SA200. It's a short hood. And this is a practice machine, so this does not go on the truck. One reason why it doesn't go on the truck is because I cannot have a remote on it. You know, so it would slow me down if I had to come over to the machine and constantly adjust the voltage here, you know, select the range here, you know. But it's nothing to do with adjusting the range. It's just it has no remote, basically. So I have to keep going back and forth if I want to change the current. Just the fact that it has no remote kind of slows me down a little bit. So, you know, and it's not just that, it doesn't have a rheostat behind here. It's the dog chain here, you know. So it's 1946 SA200 short hood. This one starts with a hand crank. Starts right up, very easy. See the way they do these? See, you look inside there and it just, where is that? Basically just clicks inside there. See if I can zoom in. Oh. See if I can zoom in here. So see how I have it just clicked inside there? Basically it just kind of pulled up a little bit till it clicks right before it's about to click, and then you just snap it up. Usually you'll just kind of just jerk it up this way. You know, you don't want to go around, you'll break your arm when it starts. Just kind of grab it, and then, you know, see it's not on here, just kind of grabs right about where they click the magneto. So just jerk it up like that, it'll click, and it'll start. You know, of course you'll pull the choke maybe, but yeah. So anyways, this right now is just a practice machine. It's just for practicing. Alright, now this thing is not, you see, this is this is a 471 Detroit, and this is a 1960 Lincoln SA300. It's a 3-phase motor generator, and even though it's 3-phase and runs off 3-phase electric power, if you can spin it up to speed, it will create welding current. But this is not even a practice. You know, I don't even use this thing for practice. It's you know, it takes a lot of energy to get that 471 started. You know, it's not worth it. Now this is a 1946 Lincoln SA300, and I have had this on the job site. So I used to have a 2013 Lincoln SA300, and it wasn't burning 1/4 inch exactly how I want it to be burning. So I brought this thing out. This is 1946 Lincoln SA300, and this was burning 1/4 inch in the pipe really well. So I was using this machine, and I'd have it on a pallet. This thing is a 1974 Lincoln SA400. So that's a 300, and that's a 400. And I have had this on the job site. It was actually my stand-in machine with my Vantage 400 when the remote was giving me a little bit of issues and I had no no time to really take it in and get it fixed. So I threw this machine on the truck, and the purpose was actually to burn 1/4 inch, but I ended up just doing 2-inch, 3-inch, 4-inch pipe, some TIG welding, you know, and I think later on welding, doing some position welding. But this machine would actually, for every 1/3 metal you deposit on position weld, it would spatter out 2/3 metal. So this is a diesel. It's a 271 Detroit diesel, and this thing can burn files. So this thing has tons and tons of power. I can't remember. I think I got this one load banked. It almost has this machine right here. The only problem right now is that it has summer diesel, and it has I think there's water in the diesel, so it's not running right. This is an SA 400. It's a 1943 generator, so a 1943 model. This actually was actually the same size as this thing right here, same exact size. However, my other engine, so I got this from British Columbia, and my original 271 engine was giving me issues, and you know, I took it in and I kept getting the ridiculous quotes on repairing it, just ridiculous. And I am going to Entwistle, Alberta, and I bought this 271. So I bought the 271 here, and with it I made a new frame. I chopped it a little bit, you know, I shortened it. It used to have a big air compressor, a really large air compressor right here. I took that off. I shortened it. Basically has a new frame, and it runs and everything, but I still have to put it together. But the one problem with these 271s is that in Alberta, Canada, it's, you know, it's not, they don't have the, I don't know how to explain this, but you know, you don't have guys refurbishing these things. You don't have them easy parts. You know, you kind of have to. It's very tricky. Nobody, you know, anytime somebody works on 271, they want to charge you just ridiculous amounts of money because they don't have the parts, they don't have the resources, basically. At least that's what I kind of find. You know, it's kind of, everybody wants to work on brand new equipment, not an old Detroit, basically. This is a Vantage 400. Now, when it comes to type of welding jobs I'm doing, you see this is single phase, 3-phase. Now, I use arc gouging mode. Everybody uses arc gouging mode. Everybody. For 1/4 inch, 718, it burns 1/4 inch. You know, you kind of want more current above 300 amps. Nobody welds in CC stick mode, so remove that CC stick mode. It's garbage. Nobody welds in CC stick mode. But everybody welds in downhill mode, downhill pipe. You know, it's kind of nice for -4 up to +4. You know, just. But after, you know, burning 1/4 inch, you know, it's kind of nice to have lots more power to your disposal. You know, arc gouging mode's really nice, lots and lots of power. Basically, arc gouging mode is kind of similar to like having downhill mode and +10. But basically, if you watch the puddle in arc gouging mode, you could do root passes, you could burn 60-10, you could TIG weld in arc gouging mode. You know, the only difference really is that if you watch the puddle, it solidifies quicker. So basically, if you're in arc gouging mode and you're roll welding, say you're roll welding, you're just dragging the weld puddle and you're watching the puddle fall along with you, well, it's just going to solidify, because you need a little bit more liquidness in the weld puddle to help it kind of just follow along with the speed that you're traveling. So you put it downhill mode and you give a little bit more voltage in there, well, maybe -4. It makes it a little bit more liquid. So while you're dragging the root passing there, maybe 532 or 1/8, whatever it is, 6 to 10 electrode, you're just dragging along. You can go pretty fast and you have a little bit more liquid in there, and basically the puddle's going to follow you. Whereas, arc gouging mode is just going to just solidify quick. It slows you down. You have to get slower. It's just, so just, yeah. But anyways, this is a really nice machine for fabbing, for roll welding. You have your welding current at your disposal. You have full output of the machine right here, just full output on your remote. I don't like TIG welding mode on here. Well, TIG weld, touch start. Touch start's nice. Just kind of just touch it. The arc comes in, lift arc basically. It's lift arc mode. But our weld procedures in Alberta are quite often TIG root, stick fill and cap. So rather than having to jump back and forth to the machine, we just put it in downhill mode, which is now a scratch start. So we just scratch start it. But the problem that I have with this machine with TIG welding on it is that when you break the arc, the high frequency is still on it. It leaves pecker tracks. It leaves arc strikes on the pipe. It's very tricky. Well, maybe I just got, I don't know, maybe it's just this machine, but quite often I watch other welders, they try and break the arc and they have the same thing. It just like pecker tracks on the pipe. But also this is a single phase, 3-phase, and I'm going to show you when it comes to welding machines and what welding machine should I buy. Well, it depends on what you're going to run, what kind of welding you're going to do. Basically, this is like, if you look at the power here, I'll just kind of scoot around here. So basically, like, it has a lot of power. I got single phase, I got 3-phase, single and 3-phase. But this is basically what I'm doing with. And I have 3-phase plugged into it right now, and pretty soon I'm going to show you, kind of things that certain kind of welding, maybe if I'm welding aluminum or titanium or certain kind of metals, I'll throw this on the truck, and then this will be powering my Dynasty 350, or maybe I'm doing welding where I'm a far distance away and I have my little Dynasty 200, and I have all these single phase cables, extension cords, everything. So this machine will go on, because these other machines, they're not meant for generating power. Now this is a 1961 Lincoln red face. Basically, these machines are nice for, well, if you're burning 316 and smaller, 200 amps, that's 60% duty cycle. If you're pipelining, this is a perfect machine. Pipelining, if you're doing position welding, roll welding is really nice too. But if you're going to burn 1/4 inch, if you're welding really thick metal, or like a 6-inch skid 80, we'll be using 1/4 inch for the fill pass. So if you're going to be burning 1/4 inch, that's when you kind of want a machine that can burn 1/4 inch, because it'll cook these things. It'll wreck them. But these are very, very gentle, very nice, very gentle machines for TIG welding, and these have very good usability. Like TIG welding, this is how gentle these things are. You just strike an arc. Well, even more gentle than that, you just kind of just touch it, barely even just touch it, and then the arc comes on and everything's very gentle and you have very good usability. And then you want to break the arc, just a very gentle pull off. That's basically these machines right here. They're very gentle, and you don't want a machine that you're welding and you're trying to break the arc, and then the arc is still staying on. You don't want that, because it's not very good. That's the reason why I don't like TIG welding on this thing. And these things are just fantastic. And there's a lot of things that these things can do that, this thing can't do, or like an inverter can't do. And basically I should also mention that, you know, this is the amperage range and this is the voltage. Basically, okay, so lower gear 70 is the same as a higher gear 40. Okay, it's not second gear and third, you know, it's lower gear this, higher gear that. So it's the same amperage. The voltage is different. The volt amp curve is different. The adjustment of when you adjust the arc length, the adjustment of the immediate amperage and voltage is going to be different. So you could be in, say, fourth gear, burning 70, 18, 1/8, you know, depending on the machine, 10, 20, 30%. 532, doing position weld, say, or whatever, roll welding, whatever. You could be at fifth gear, 10, 20, 30%. Usually, my hands are just so cold here, I can't even feel them. But so you're in second gear, and say you're doing, say you're pipelining, say you have two options here. I'm just going to give you just an example here, because everybody when they go pipelining, you know, when you go pipelining, usually it's third gear and, you know, 40 or 50 for the root pass, and then maybe 60 or 70 for 532, etc., etc. But okay, so we're in second gear and we're at 60. Okay, usually 60 is a nice for 60-10 electrodes. And then so basically this is arc characteristics. Basically it's this adjustment. So this is 1/8 60-10, say, or 332 7/18, but 1/8 60-10. When you increase, say if you grab a 532, well, usually it's about 10 or 15% up or whatever. But say I'm going to burn a 532, so I don't know, put it at 75, whatever. And so my arc characteristics get softer, so it softens the arc characteristics. So lose a little bit of drive, softer arc characteristics. But say I want my, say I don't want to soften the arc, say whatever the root pass was set to, I want the same exact arc characteristics my root pass was set to. So I'm not gonna touch this. This is the arc characteristics. I'm gonna come over here. I'm just gonna go up a gear. Now this is the setting used for 532. Or else what I could do is if I want more drive, I want a real drive, nice stiff arc characteristics, puddle size quicker and such, I can go up to higher gear and go lower in the voltage. So I can go, you know, like a 40, maybe a 50, do the root pass, you know, so I have nice root pass. And say I want to use the same exact arc characteristics for the large electrode that I had for the arc characteristics for the root pass, you know, the smaller electrode, I'm just going to go up a gear. So this, I could maybe use this setting for, like, say, like a 532, you know, and it basically had the same exact arc characteristics, same drive, same push, everything as the smaller 1/8 electrode. But or else I could just keep it the same gear. I was using this for 1/8. I want my arc characteristics a little bit softer, you know, I don't want the dig as much, so I can just increase the voltage. So now I have softer arc characteristics. When I manipulate the arc length, my immediate amperage and voltage are not going to adjust as dramatically when I go higher up in the voltage and lower on the gear. So, you know, whereas if you're, say if I'm using, if I'm burning 1/8 70-18, you know, I'll go lower voltage. So with the volt amp curve that I get, when I manipulate the arc length, the immediate amperage and voltage are going to be more dramatic. They're going to change them more dramatically. So I'll be over on one side, I'll hold a tight arc, my amperage and burn rate is going to spike up, my voltage is going to drop off, and then when I cross the middle, say if I'm welding like a heavy wall, whatever, large pipe heavy wall, you know, so hold a tight arc, lots of metal deposition, puddle's going to solidify, so I'm going to give a little bit of arc length, just increase the voltage, just from one side over to the other, so I have the puddle just going to, and then I'm going to go over to the other side and hold a really tight arc, and then the amperage and the burn off rate is going to spike out, the voltage is going to drop off. So once I hold a tight arc on this side, because the voltage drops off, it's going to solidify this side. So basically I'll be tight arc over here, low arc length, then tight arc over here, this is going to solidify. Now I deposited a fair amount of metal, and this side has solidified, so I can just kind of up and over, screw over to that side, and now I can stack my liquid weld puddle onto previously deposited metal that's just solidified. So that's basically just these machines right here. So this machine is a 1969 Lincoln Red Face. It's a F163 Continental Red Seal engine. This is a very nice machine too. Actually, I haven't run it for a while. I probably should, but it's a really nice machine. This is a 1956 Lincoln SA200 short hood. And this is also a 1956 Lincoln SA200 short hood. And all these machines I've had on the truck. I've had this on the truck. This one's really nice for TIG welding, really nice. I had that on the truck. This has been 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 on the truck. This, in its original incarnation, was on the truck. This currently has not been on the truck. In the condition that it's in, it has not yet been on the truck. But the original, what I originally bought it as, with the original engine, the original ensemble with air tank, has been on the truck. This has been on the truck, but not just used temporarily. It's just been used temporarily, just to kind of limp me through the job while the Vantage 400 is getting repaired. I've had this on the truck. It was actually sitting on a pallet. This has also been on the truck. This is 1951 Lincoln SA200 short hood, Continental F162 engine. And this is a generator from a 1946 Lincoln SA300. So basically the 46 SA300 all the way down there, this is the same exact machine, except the Hercules engine that was in it was broken internals. I bought it like that. Broken internals, end up scrapping the engine. I still have the frame, it's not here. But this is the generator, and this is a Continental F163 engine that I've taken out of a 1970s blackface. It used to have a 70s blackface, but I took the engine out. And that has been on the truck. I used that. I brought it out to a site one time, and I was just welding. I was doing some structural welding with it, actually. Pipe supports, basically. I know, big frame or whatever holds a lot of the pipe or whatever. Just weld around with 316. So I was using that. I was using this machine. And also, quite often, when I renew my downhand ticket at GRB College Welding there, quite often I'll bring one of these machines out. So I'll bring maybe this machine out, or I'll bring maybe this machine out. This one I got from Holden, Missouri. This is 1947. It's an Ampere Special, and this is a 1942 Junior Shield Arc V4 Wisconsin air-cooled V4 Wisconsin engine. They both run. Basically, with these, they both start with a hand crank. This one's electric start, but I start with a hand crank anyways. Basically, the way this one works is you select what amperage range you're going to go to here. So, I'm going to go in this range or this range or this range or whatever. Okay, and then I'm just going to walk around the back of the machine here. And now I'm just going to pull this out, increase the RPMs of the engine. And the RPMs of the engine and the voltage go hand in hand. So basically it'll act the very same as a fine current. So when I increase the voltage, it increases the amperage basically. So that's how you set your welding current, is by just selecting a range, just pulling this out to wherever it runs pretty good, and just lock it in place. So that's these machines. And then this last machine is a Lincoln Ranger 305G. This is actually really nice for a smaller pipe, like a 6-inch and under. Usually a 6-inch skid 80, the fill passes with 1/4 inch. This thing can do that, but it's nicer having a bigger machine with more power, more capabilities on larger pipes, say like a 10-inch, 12-inch, 14, 20, 30-inch. Maybe burning a lot of 1/4 inch. It's nicer having a machine like maybe Vantage 400 or SAE 400 or something with more power basically. But I'm using this thing right now. I'm using it for single phase power. So this is what I'm dealing with here. And I'll show you what this thing's running. This is a Lincoln Ranger 305G. This is also nice for, it's really nice for, this thing actually welds nicer than my Vantage 400 does, you know. So if I'm on a job where it's smaller pipe, like a 6-inch and under, or 8-inch, you know, don't have to necessarily burn 1/4 inch, you know, like, you know, but it welds nicer much nicer than the Vantage 400. Now I'm just going to throw these two in just for nostalgia, really. This one's a 1981 Polaris 250 air-cooled diesel engine. This one is a 1949 8N, you know, just a gasoline engine. But you know, this is basically just showing the simplicity of these engines. It's very simple, very similar to the simplicity of, you know, the SA200s for their Continental F163, F162 engine. So this is just the engine block. There's very barely any wiring or anything on it. Barely anything. You know, like, you know, don't even need a start. It has a hand crank in the front. This one, usually the hand crank was behind somewhere. I think it just clicked on here or something. I can't remember. It doesn't have the hand crank with this one, unfortunately, but I don't even know where it is. Actually, my grandfather, he used to own this tractor. He passed away and I bought the tractor. But what else here? So basically, here's the engine. You know, it has some simple wiring for this, simple wiring for this, and then yeah, has spark plugs, simple battery, you know, just simple wiring for a starter, and that's basically. Doesn't have circuit boards, doesn't have diodes. You know, it's just everything's just very simple. Just very simple. So this is just showing the older stuff that's just very reliable. Just simple carburetor and, you know, that sort of thing.